Hi folks, so sound craftsman Steve came by this morning and he had, not a sound craftsman, but he had picked up a Pioneer SX6000 for parts because the one I fixed for him previously, the signal strength and tuning meters were both defective. So he said the only problem he saw with this one is it has a channel out, and when we looked at it a little closer, it had a blown fuse, so I replaced the fuse, put up in a dim bulb, and something's pulling too much current. And I decided I was just going to go through and fix it and see that everything works so that when he does part it out, he knows that all the parts are working. And he may be able to get a few more dollars for them because of that. So let's dive in and see what's going on with this thing. I removed this cage from the cover here for the output stage. And you're able to get to the backs of the output transistors here, and of course the case of these TO3 transistors are the collector. So I was able to verify there are no dead shorted outputs. So the outputs look like they're okay. Gonna have to dig in here a little deeper and find out where the problem lies. Got a 60 watt dim bulb in here, so when I turn it on you'll see it glows pretty brightly. So that is a problem. I'm going to see what kind of voltages we have at these output transistors while that's like that. I printed out a schematic of the output stage, and once I did, I realized that most of the voltages I saw were not bad. I am so used to working on direct coupled full complementary amplifiers that I just made an error. This is why having a schematic is really helpful, especially for me. In any event, a few static resistance checks pointed out that we have an open bias pot. That's pretty common with this older stuff. And this says 101. And I want to point out an error I made on a previous amplifier where it said 500 and yet the schematic said 50 ohms. These 3-digit codes, like this, that's 10. The 1 indicates the number of zeros, so this should be a 100 ohm pot. And if we look at the schematic here, it's upside down. If we check our bias pot here, it says 50 and 100K for, I think this is balance. But in any event, this is supposed to be 100 ohms. I measured the other one in circuit. It was reading about 28 because they usually tie two of these together. But this is reading somewhere in the neighborhood of 28 megohms, so it's clearly not good. And this is what was causing our high voltage and the blown fuse. I replaced the bias pot. I didn't have an exact match because, like alignment tools, I don't care how many you have, you're just not going to have the ones you need. But I did find one that was the right value. It was 100 ohms, and I managed to get it in. And now I can get signal on both channels. The dim bulb responded correctly before I took it off of there and put signal in. I'm going directly in the main outs because this has pre-main jumpers that were not installed. So let me see what happens when I go through the rest of the unit. Okay, so it's looking pretty good now. I'm going through the whole thing, and I'm not sure what this is rated, but it looks like I can get about 35 watts out of here without too much trouble. Get close to 40, we start getting some clipping. So yeah, I'd say this is probably 35 watts a channel. Everything seems to be working, so I'm going to check out the Phono and check out the tuner, and then I can let Steve part it out. I'm going to grab the meters, put them in the other unit, and we should be good to go. Okay, so this is the Phono. As you can see, we have some problems. That would manifest itself as crackling. I'm going to turn the signal off, and I'm going to plug it into a speaker so you can hear what this would sound like. So yeah, I'm going to have to see, it's probably noisy transistors, and I'd say both channels are looking bad. Let's see. Yeah, this is not great. Matter of fact, that's Mike. There. Yeah, it's the Phono. So let's see, we're probably just gonna have to replace some transistors in that Phono stage. I set myself on a bit of a merry chase because I needed to change out the transistors and what they refer to as the head amp, the Phono pre, and I ended up changing on this board. I didn't look to see what it was because there were 4 transistors, the numbers matched, and I just pulled it. Turns out that this is the head amp board. So I changed these, the symptoms didn't change. I started going through the power supply, started looking at other stuff. I'd been out here for about 12 hours. I did take a break for lunch and a siesta, but I was pretty burned out. So I went in the house, got something to eat, sat down at the computer, looked at the schematic and realized my error. Then I went back and I changed the transistors on the actual head amp board, and of course the problem cleared up. And now if I put signal in, you can see it nice and steady, no noise, nothing jumping around. So I don't know what to tell you. I do make errors, especially when I'm tired, but that did fix it. Changing the transistors on the head amp board got rid of that noise. And interestingly, the numbers on the board, I did change them out on, matched the schematic, but the numbers on the transistors on the head amp board did not. It's not unusual for these things to change with revisions in manufacturing, but it so happens that the ones they replace it with are known noisy transistors. So there you go. Anyway, I think that completes this. I'm going to look through the FM, come back, make sure everything's okay, and then I'm going to close this video out. The AM tuner's not working in here, and I think the problem is right here in the front. If you look at Q1, we're supposed to have 1.5 volts at the base, 0.9 at the emitter, and 5.4 at the collector. So we look at the base, and that's the base here, that's 0.195 instead of 1.5. The collector, these leads are a little corroded, so it's collector, instead of being, come on baby, instead of being 5.4 is 9.2, and the emitter is 0.186. I'm going to turn the power off here, and I believe there's a short between the emitter and base. Okay, so now I have both probes connected here, and in diode mode, okay, base to collector looks good. That looks bad. We got about a 40 ohm between the base and the emitter, and I see no path for that to happen here on the schematic. So I'm going to pull the board and pull that transistor out and test it out of circuit. I pulled Q1 from the tuner board, and sure enough, it's bad. If you look here, I have it on my LCR meter, and it is reading between base and emitter about 40 ohms. So it's definitely bad. I pulled the transistor out of a spare board I had. I scrapped out a unit. So let's see what happens when we power it up now, because I soldered that one in. All right, with the new transistor in, now we have AM. That's my signal generator. I don't get a lot of AM stations here.
And with this whole Christlam thing started in Nigeria.
Disconnecting the signal generator.
I call them the apostates who have turned their back on the truth of the gospel.
like college basketball so much. And he knows hateful bloodthirsty, malign, where's he got?
Okay, so that was the only problem with the AM radio. We got the phono stage straightened out, the output stage straightened out. We're going to pull the meters out of here and Steve's going to part out the rest, but at least now we know that all the parts are good. So when he sells them, he can sell them with confidence. So I'm going to stop this video here. As always, I thank everyone for watching, and I like giving back to the community that's given me so much. Thanks a lot, everyone.